Hi, I'm Our Journey in Journals, or Mae-Mae, that's my actual name. This is awkward, making a video. This is my first video ever. So today I'm going to be doing a flip through of my bullet journal throughout the past year because as of April, I've now been bullet journaling for an entire year. And I normally have a blog at ourjourneyinjournals.blogspot.com, but I didn't want to have to photograph and edit all of those pictures, so I thought, hey, why not do a flip through video instead? So first, I'm kind of sitting on the side, so this is awkward, but here's bullet journal number 1, here's number 2, and the silver one is number 3. So first, I'll be going through number 1. So this is a spiral-bound notebook that I got at Marshall's, actually. And you can see it's kind of warped here, and just on the sides you'll see there's some stains because I accidentally left a water bottle slightly open in my backpack with my bullet journal inside, so yes, some of the water leaked on it. That was really sad. Anyway, so let's just open it up. This usually has a post-it note that has a bunch of contact information, but I took that off, obviously. And here's my index, second page, here's my key. You can see how bad my handwriting used to be, which it's improved a lot since then. Anyway, here's future log, here's a year at a glance, and then emergency contact information. And here was my first monthly setup, April 2016. You can see that I went with like a gold theme, and it's metallic, but you can't really see it because metallic stuff doesn't show up well on camera, but this is pretty ugly. But yeah. My first monthly habit tracker. I was only tracking how many, that's 6 things because I couldn't fit anything else on like this sort of page layout. Spell schedule for school, blog post ideas, my first monthly memories. Here are some collection ideas because I wasn't sure if I wanted to actually implement them into my bullet journal or not, or what? I wasn't sure, let me say that again. I wasn't sure if I wanted to implement them into my bullet journal yet. Here was packing for Chicago because I was going on a trip to Chicago. Blog post planning, which was setting up my first bullet journal. And then the Rock Your Handwriting Challenge in April, which I did on Instagram. And my Instagram username is just Our Journey in Journals. But you can see, yeah, my handwriting was pretty terrible. And then a wish list, which I did not get hardly any of that stuff. My very first daily, which I actually really like this header. Especially compared to, oh, here's Rock Your Handwriting stuff. I originally was like making these little pencil icons in the shape of the Roman numeral of that day, but then I realized that I would not be able to do that with like the bigger days. Here's another daily, literal bloody hell. Wonder if you can guess what that is. Here's some more dailies. Dailies. The Rock Your Handwriting Challenge. And you can see in the corner I have this indexing, well, not indexing, I guess that's indexing, where I just said where the previous page was for the same collection or the next page was, like in here. Now you see I was practicing photocalligraphy, but again, like I said, my handwriting sucked. Blog post ideas, and this was planning for May's monthly setup, because these are just things that I wanted to change. Here's some blog post planning, more dailies, blog post planning, more dailies, Rock Your Handwriting, more dailies, and also sitting accounts on Instagram and Etsy stores that I liked, just random collections. More collections, here's random calligraphy, which is a quote from the song Colors by Halsey. Dailies, dailies. That's a quote from Hamilton because I absolutely loved that musical. Rock Your Handwriting. And by the way, if you want to, I'll leave a link, or you can just find it on my blog, of ways to improve your handwriting and 10 ways to practice your handwriting, because those are both posts that I've done on my blog. And then this was just notes for a Spanish project. Dailies. Again, more notes, dailies, Rock Your Handwriting, things to buy in China because I was going to China later in the summer. Dailies, dailies, notes from an interview, and this was just like you know those pages that you see on Instagram, a lot of people like welcoming the new month in. And like I also did this for April, but these are little just tape things that I folded over the page to make a tab for each month. And this is, let's see, what did I call that page earlier? Oh, it was goals, but it's more of like a brain dump, so just random monthly tasks and notes. My tracker, my memories, and this is what I still do to this day, is I have the 2-page monthly spread, which is calendar spread, and then the tracker, and then the memories. I did the Together We Letter and Badass Woman challenge in May. Dailies, challenges, dailies, lessons paid spread, which is how I keep track of payment for all the private lessons I take. Dailies, ooh, wish list, which I didn't get a lot of that stuff. Challenges, dailies, challenges, and I hope you'll see how my calligraphy improves throughout the months, because I actually started doing calligraphy in May 27. I went on March 27th, around that time, which is a couple days before I started bullet journaling. And I also have a post on my blog about ways that my calligraphy has changed throughout the past year. Yeah. This was post planning. This is actually my most popular blog post by far. Dailies, goals for the summer, which you can see I didn't really do any of them. Challenges, and here's June. And I really like June's color scheme. It's really pretty. And then I also started, I think this was the first month I started doing this, where I just add a little bit of decoration by using washi tape and this whatever pens I'm using in the color scheme of the month. Tracker, memories. Oh, and then for the summer I started doing weeklies instead of dailies, since obviously without school I wasn't. Oh yeah, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but I'm actually a high schooler. And so when school ended, I didn't have any use for dailies since I didn't have as much stuff to do, so I used weeklies instead. Current pen wants, weekly, big clean out for my room, because I wanted to completely clear out my room and just like to do a complete room makeover. As you can see, that didn't really happen. Weeklies, packing list for some trip I went on, random lettering practice, school supplies, because I wanted to like color coordinate all of my school supplies, so this is what I made to help me keep track of all the stuff I needed to get. And this was when I was deciding what notebook to use for my next bullet journal, since I only had a month left on this bullet journal. And then I eventually decided on the Rodeo web notebook. Weekly is just random notes about random stuff. And then here's July. And yeah, this was actually based off of this weekly. Wow. Turned to the right page. Okay, so this was just July's monthly spread, and I was on vacation for most of it, as you can see, which is when I went to China. So I didn't really use it that much. There's packing list, tracker, memories, flight info, weekly, post planning for the 10 ways to practice your handwriting post, blog post planning. This is an editorial calendar, but I made this before I knew what an editorial calendar actually was. And then why you should use a bullet journal if you're in high school, which is a blog post I did. And then it's a weekly, how to do faux calligraphy, another blog post I did. But yeah, I'll link all of these blog posts in the description. Origins of this journal, and I apparently can't spell the word origins. And this is just a bit of a long form journaling. This is all of the pens and stationery that I got in China. Weekly, and I kind of attempted to do a gradient. I think it looks okay on camera. In real life, it's also okay. The quote from Supernatural is just trying to fill up some space. The big move, so yeah, this was me trying to just plan out how I was gonna set up the next bullet journal. And the very last page, here's For the Closing Door Another Surely Opens, which is a song that I really like. And this was a pen test page, or it's kind of like a scribble page too. Okay, so that's the end of my first bullet journal. This is my second bullet journal. It's a Rhodia Web notebook with a 5mm dot grid. You open it up. Here's just, it says hey there, just has some contact information in case I lose it. My key, table of contents, and oh, I don't know if I did this in my first, yes I did in the first bullet journal. Whenever I index the months, I do it in the color that I'm using for that month setup. So like with August, I went with an orange color scheme, so I used the same orange pens to write it in my index. This pen test page, You're at a Glance, Future Log, and here is my first monthly spread for the second bullet journal, which is August 2016. And yeah, this was a little more complicated than I realized it would be to set up because it's 26 boxes, 26, I don't know how to describe that, it's 26 across and then 40 down, and obviously that doesn't split up evenly. Here's Ox Tracker, and since I had some extra space, I just lettered a quote from Supernatural, which is one of my favorite TV shows. It's Memories, a weekly. This was the week before school started. Lessons paid again for the private lessons. Quote from Supernatural because it was that actor's birthday. And these are hashtags that I can use for our journeying journals on Instagram. And the dailies, bell schedule for school. Just post planning, I guess, and then this is for my China stationery haul, which was a blog post I did. Dailies and Instagram. Oops. Let's see what? Yes, and I started doing it here. I think when did I start doing it? I started doing it here, where all of my AP World homework was in red because AP World is the hardest class I'm taking this year, and there's a lot of work for it, and so the red just separates it from the rest of my stuff, since red is the color I'm using to color code it with all of my school stuff. Yeah, and Instagram picture ideas, dailies, and then here's the iconic how to do folk calligraphy page, which is a popular blog post that I wrote, and this was something that I also shared on Instagram, just a graphic I made for the post, and I was featured on Lettering League that week, which was really nice because that boosted my follower count by about half. I think, not by about half, like about 2 times. So that's how I hit 1,000 followers. Your dailies, how to do, this is just a guide to Morse code because I wanted to learn Morse code, but that didn't happen. Dailies, and this is when I got not Tombow dual brush pens, the Tombow Fudeno Suge brush pens. And then I later lost one of them a couple of days after I got them, which is really sad. And then I think, is that when I started doing it? It was sometime around here when I started doing, using the day's color scheme to do the AP World homework stuff instead of using just red, so that it would all look a little more cohesive. Wish list, dailies, so when I hit 400 followers, this is a little doodle I did later, just to fill up some space, which is it's an AP World thing. Blog post ideas, Aaron Burser, just Hamilton thing, because I love Hamilton. Dailies, here's September. Yeah. And To Thine Own Self Be True, because that's the month when we read Hamlet. Here's Memories. That was my birthday, by the way, August 31st. My skip page. Dailies. Dailies editorial calendar. And so I just colored it in with that pink gel pen once I published the post. Dailies. Dailies here. I did this on the 13th because that was Supernatural Day, which is Supernatural as in the TV show that I mentioned earlier. And this is a quote from it. It says, "Family don't end with blood, boy." And I actually planned this out a bunch, and I sketched it out on a different piece of paper I ended up not really liking it. Just really disappointing. Here's makeup work because I went on a field trip. Yeah, it was this field trip that day. Dailies. Dailies. This is when my zebra mild liners arrived. Slytherin Pride. I did that later for the Nerdy Letter Challenge in October because I was just filling up space. And this was planning for a post that I did about how my bullet journal has changed in 6 months. Dailies. Dailies. I don't remember why I put that there. Oh yeah, because I had some, I don't remember what I did. I think I tried to doodle something here and then I hated it, so I used this scrapbook paper to cover it up. That's a good trick, using like scrapbook paper or washi tape to cover up ugly things. Here's You're Enough. That was for Nerdy Letter Challenge again in October. I think this monthly spread. Look, my camera just randomly cut out, but anyway, here's October's monthly spread, which I think it looks really nice. And I think that was the first month that I changed. No, I think I changed it in August. Yeah. So I changed this column. It used to be called Notes or something like that. And so I changed it to Miscellaneous, which is what a lot of my monthly spreads, it just says MI. That's what the MI stands for. So that's just any random monthly stuff. Here's Tracker, Memories, Nerdy Letter Challenge. I wrote all of the prompts out, but then for when I actually did one, I just used the highlighter, which was this brown zebra mild liner, to color in the box. Emergency Contacts. This is actually a really cute spread, so I'm sad I can't really show it to you guys. Here's 60 collection ideas, which is another post I did. And it's actually, I think it's my second most popular post. Dailies, tips for Bujo newbies. I was gonna make this into a blog post, but then I never did because I think what really happened was that I made this header and I'm like, oh my god, that is actually really cute. So I didn't want to ruin it with just random scribbles, which is usually what my post planning is like. Like you can see here's just random stuff. Here's dailies. 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 You can see I just do random doodles throughout dailies. And that was just common Bujo supplies. That was a post I did. I think it's called What You Need to Start a Bullet Journal. Dailies. Fall break work. Yeah, I had a lot of piled up homework to do over fall break. So I just used that to organize all my thoughts. And here's dailies. And then this was something I made over fall break because like I made that collection earlier in the first bullet journal of just a giant room clean. And so this is this is another spread I made. First I just sketched out my room, and then so I numbered all of the areas of my room. And then I wrote out all the problems, like the things I didn't like. For example, I had there's this weird storage thing in the left side of my bed frame, and that's really messy, and so I wanted to clean it out. Yeah, so more problems, and then so I'm using that. I wrote out this plan of attack, I guess, just specific tasks that are broken down, so that's a lot easier to do a big project than to just write out vague things like clean out bookshelf, because like here you have to take out all of the books, sort the books into keep and give away, take out the rest of the random non-book stuff, actually clean the bookshelf, like dust it and things like that, and then replace the books and the rest of the stuff, you know, just specific tasks that make up the big project that I want to complete. And like you can see, this did not really happen. I didn't really do any cleaning. Makes me sad. This was for a school project. Gifts for bullet journalers. That was a post that I did. It was for Christmas stuff. Here's dailies. And this was originally going to be just like a Christmas gift spread of organizing what things I need to buy for which people for Christmas. But then I don't remember, because I completely messed up this coding here. where the F was supposed to be for friends. J is for family because in Chinese it's Jia, that begins with J. T is for teachers. Yeah, I completely messed that up, so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna start over. Here are more dailies, and here's November. And November was a bit rough for my bullet journal. That's because I just slacked off a lot with school and productivity and things like that in general. And then I think it was October, the first month, that I started filling up the empty space at the bottom and with the pattern with just doodles, so that just looked a little nicer. Okay, I'm back. Here's my tracker. I said sometimes things don't go according to plan because I just gave up tracking that month, because in November, I guess it was a mixture of just bad lighting, you know, the winter months making you all sad. I live in the Midwest, so we actually have a winter. And yes, it was a mixture of just seasonal, I think it's called seasonal affective disorder, plus the stress of school because finals were coming up, and just, you know, all of those things making it so that I was just not in a productive mood. So I started skipping the weekend a lot when it came to dailies. Like I said, skipping the weekend, and I skipped just a lot of dailies in general. Like I even started making the header and I just gave up. And here's my Christmas gift spread. So this is where I just detailed all the Christmas gifts that I wanted to give to people. Yeah, just dailies. And then December. And yeah, skipped that tracking. And yeah, just so it went from the 9th to the 13th because I skipped a lot of dailies. I was gonna make this post called stationery/study blur gifts for students, but then I didn't want to. I don't remember. I think it was just because I didn't have enough time to. So I wrote, nah, mate. Here's handwriting practice. I think I was just trying to fill up the space. And editorial calendar. Yeah, see, I skipped a lot of dailies throughout this time. Lessons paid, because the old one filled up. Just a random daily. And then January. I thought, this is very pretty. And so I was on vacation for about the first week of January, so I had a lot of time to just catch up on my bullet journal and just overall get more motivated and felt more productive in general. I just said in general a lot. Yeah, and then first, you see all these X'd out dates? So those were days when I didn't have my bullet journal because I was in Florida, and then on the 6th, which was the day we were supposed to come home, I don't know if you remember this, but that's when there was the Fort Lauderdale airport shooting. And so we got kind of caught up in that, and there was a time when everyone started running because we thought there was another shooting going on. And so I just dropped everything and ran out of the airport. And so that meant that I only had my purse, and my purse didn't even have my phone in it because it was charging on the floor. So yeah, I left my backpack and the rest of my luggage, and that had my bullet journal and a lot of my calligraphy supplies. 2017 calendar, things to do in Florida, because I wanted to actually work on school stuff that I need to catch up on. Packing for Florida, reverse bucket list. I am not very proud of this spread. It was something I saw on Instagram, but I made the header and I was really proud of that. But then the rest of it, I just rushed to finish.